Hello friends, today I'll be preparing Sesame Dim Sum. This is one of the most famous recipes during Ganesha festival, and we prepare this for the festival, and it is very nice and healthy. It has got not much of cholesterol in it. It is really good for health. So what I've done is I've taken one measure of the white sesame. You can also use black sesame seeds. Black sesame seeds, if you purchase, you need to clean that. So white sesame is already husked for you and it is cleaned. Then I'm just going to dry roast this on a medium flame till it turns into light brown in color and reserve it in a plate. Now in the same wok, what I've done is I'm going to add one measure of jaggery. You can use brown sugar for this. So to this I'm going to add quarter cup of water and melt the jaggery. Now the reason why I'm using a wide bottom pan is because you can stir the sesame seeds properly. Try to use a very wide bottom vessel. This wok is really wide in our house, so I'm using it. It will be easy for you to handle the process. Now I'm just going to go ahead and strain the jaggery once it is melted. You can see all the impurities coming out of it, so you always need to strain the jaggery once it is melted. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the toasted sesame to a mixer jar, and I'm going to coarsely grind this. Just pulse it twice or thrice till it's nice and coarse. So as you can see, it is nice and coarse now. I'm going to add this once the jaggery is starting to form one string consistency. So the jaggery which I had strained earlier, I've placed it back in the pan again, and I'm going to get it to one string consistency. So once it forms that one string consistency, I'm immediately going to go ahead and add the sesame seeds to this. Now you need not add any oil or ghee to this, and if you add any oil or ghee, it's not a big issue, because a lot of people, they tend to add ghee and oil to sweet recipes. Sesame seeds already has a lot of oil in it, so you need not add any oil or ghee to it. So it has got its own natural oils in it. Now I'm just going to go ahead and stir this vigorously and prepare this into a toffee consistency. Now once it is formed a toffee consistency, you can reserve it into a plate. People who like to add cardamom powder, they can add cardamom powder to the jaggery, but I have just left that out. I just like the sesame taste and flavor. Now once it is cooled little bit, I'm just going to go ahead and form laddus. So I'm going to take very small portions and roll it out into small balls, into small laddus, and reserve that for puja. Normally we do that size of laddus for Ganesha. And now coming back to the dim sum. Earlier in my previous video, I've shown you how to prepare idiyappam. So I'm using the same idiyappam dough for this recipe, same rice flour dough. Now I'm just going to go ahead and give it a good shape and form dim sums out of it. Now this recipe for idiyappam is posted on my blog. You also have the video along with the recipe on my blog. Do visit my blog for the recipe. I'll post the link in the description box below this video. You can also visit me on my Facebook fan page for regular recipe updates. If you've got any issues with some recipes, or you want some recipe ideas, you can definitely go ahead and ask me on my Facebook. You can also request for recipes on my Facebook or on my G+. So I'll post all the links in the description box below. You can visit me on all my social networks. I do have a translated video in Tamil as well. You can visit me on my Tamil channel. If you're a South Indian and would like to follow me in my native language, you can visit me on my Tamil channel and subscribe to me on that channel. If you like this recipe, do subscribe to this channel, and I'll be posting regular recipes, and particularly I'll be posting fusion and South Indian cooking. That's what I prefer. Now what I've done is, once I finish forming shape, I placed the filling inside, and I sealed the edges, and I prepared a dim sum. So that is one shape. That is one basic shape what we do in India. The other shape is a modak shape. We call it as a modak. But in US and in other countries, you will be familiar with Hershey's Kisses. So this resembles the Hershey's Kiss, and it is we call it modak in India. This is very traditional as well. So we what I'll do is I'll place a laddu in between the dough that I've formed well, and I'm just going to conceal all the edges and form a Hershey's Kiss sort of a shape. So this is the second dumpling shape that we do. I'm sorry, a dim sum. And now I'm going to just remove the excess dough which is there, and you can see there's a very cute looking modak. We call this as modak or modagam. And now I'm just going to go ahead and steam cook these and serve it up hot. So if you steam cook, what happens is the covering gets a little bit harder and the inner filling melts, and once you take a bite into this modak or the korkata, it is literally going to melt in your mouth, and you'll have a very excellent tasty korkata or dim sums. Now I'm just going to go ahead and steam cook this. Normally you can use your own steamer, but I created my steamer at home. The pressure cooker, we have a very wide open pressure cooker, so inside that I've placed my steel colander and I'm using that as a steamer. So that works for me. I placed a banana leaf and placed all the prepared dim sums, and I'm just going to cover it and steam cook it for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes I'm just going to open the cover and see it's all ready and done. Do visit me on my blog for the recipe. As you can see, it's done now. I'm going to go ahead and serve it. I'll see you soon with the next recipe. Until then, thanks for watching, friends. Bye bye.